Well, a shortage of truckers is looming, meaning job opportunities on the horizon, but could it also mean consumers may face higher prices going forward, as we've been talking about? Joining us right now is Mike O'Connell. He's the Executive Director and General Counsel of the Commercial Vehicle Training Association. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, so many people are looking for work. How on earth could we have shortage of truckers out there?
Well, actually, it's a non-traditional occupation. People that are looking for work are generally thinking about the occupation that they left. And for instance, somebody that might have a 2-year degree might say, well, I'll go back and get a bachelor's degree, and then I'll improve my prospects of being hired. And they don't think about a non-traditional occupation like trucking. They're sort of locked down the career path that they had.
What are the reasons why we're experiencing this shortage right now, or we're about to experience this shortage?
Well, there's pretty much been a constant shortage of drivers that's lasted for about the last 5 to 6 years, but there's some changes in some federal regulations coming up right now as far as training drivers and as far as the quality of driver that it's necessary to have to get behind the wheel that are being put out by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, and that's going to contribute to the shortage. For instance, there's a study out recently that was put out by Penske Logistics, and while I think the number is actually a little high, it's certainly within the range. They said between now and the end of 2011, we'll need approximately 400,000 new drivers.
You know, Mike, you talk about this legislation. The CSA 2010 is what it's called, the federal government putting out some new safety guidelines, and so many truckers are going to fail these guidelines. That's going to help you with your shortage. What type of costs are we talking about to the consumer, to the everyday Joe on the street, in terms of passing costs along if we do indeed have a shortage of truckers?
Well, we've had a shortage of truckers, as I said, that's been ongoing for about the last 5 years, and I think you'll see some increase. You have to look at the cost of the driver amortized over the amount of miles that he drives and the amount of freight that's actually in the back of the truck. So if you look at each individual item, it's not going to be that much, but collectively it will be more costly.
All right, so if I'm unemployed or maybe I want a career change, what would you tell somebody about, hey, listen, look at trucking and here's how you can get into it?
Well, actually, the Commercial Vehicle Training Association is a national trade association representing commercial driver training schools and most of the major motor carriers that hire entry-level drivers. So just go to our website, www.cvta.org, or go and get the number and call us and let us know where you are, and we'll put you in touch with the school. And the interesting thing about it is because of the shortage, most of the schools are able to arrange a pre-hire letter, which means a carrier will actually commit to hiring the driver prior to beginning the training, and then as soon as the training is finished, the driver reports for orientation.
Mike, we certainly do appreciate your time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You know, it's interesting, Lori, 1 out of every 6 drivers is now 55 years or older, so it certainly hasn't been the type of career path that young people have chosen or have certainly sought out, so that might change.
Exactly. I was just going to say, listening to your interview, that might change. I think we're seeing an entire change in the landscape of the U.S. labor market. I mean, we have to be. If these people, this 9.6% of our population unemployed, we have to figure out a different strategy for bringing us back to full employment.
And when we were younger, Smokey and the Bandit, Convoy, I mean, being a trucker was really cool in the 70s. Nowadays, you know, we haven't seen those types of movies. Maybe we need Smokey and the Bandit 4 or 5 to come out to really
I know you're being funny, but it's necessary. Infrastructure, it's a terrific line of work, and there's great benefits and things like that. So